Good morning everyone, and welcome to Scrapbook Sketch number 7. And today we are going to be using some of the foil that we did yesterday. Oh my god, how cool was that yesterday? Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. Really good. This hot foil machine is going to be the next explosion for Stampin' Up. I'm sure of it, because it is no doubt one of the best products I have used in a long time. I love all the products, don't get me wrong, but oh, if you love that shine and that professional look, you're gonna love the hot foil. But before we get started, did you know that we can get replacement blades for our Stampin' Positioner? Now, I got very excited when I saw these, and I had to have extra for the simple reason, with my hand the way it is, I need those extra, what I call extra fingers, which is my magnets, on the Stampin' Positioner. And sometimes 2 is just not enough. Sometimes you need 4, because we had 4. So I was excited when I could order replacement blades, and I'll just give you the code. It's 169988. So you get 2 of these. I was very excited about that, so just wanted to let you know that. Did you know that? Tell me in the comments if you knew that. Hi everyone, if you come on for the first time, my name's Teresa Brown and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Warragul in Victoria, and I am coming up to my 20th year in August. Not far away now, so I'm excited. 20 years doing something that you love every day, sharing products that are fantastic, and just creating and teaching how to use the products is my #1 priority. I like to make sure that you don't just buy the products, but you get to know how to use the products, because to me, it's no good having products if they're sitting in the drawer. You've got to be able to use them. I have a lot of products sitting around my craft room, and I try very hard every now and then to go to my retired ones and pull out stamps when the grandkids come. They play with my retired ones, because that way they're retired and they can play with them as much as they like, and they love it. So let's get down to our scrapbook page. We are excited. We're going to bring a little bit of that hot foil to it today. Okay, let's see, we're set up pretty good here today. So I'm going to grab these out, because I tell you what, I use my positioner now. Ooh, look, you've got 2. I use my positioner now a lot because of my hand. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so now I've got 4 fingers instead of 2. Oh my God. And the thing that I like about this also is it's a magnet on the back. So if there's 2 you're not using, you can put them to the back, okay? And you can just bring them over when you need them, which is really good. Now, in our page today, our sentiment, you can use whatever sentiment you want, but today I'm using the statement of the heart. This is the Stampin' Up statement of the heart, and it's to love what we do and share what we love, as we help others enjoy creativity and worthwhile accomplishments. In this, we make a difference. And this is what I want on my page today. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to stamp this little out first. You can see I've been using a lot of thread on this one. Okay. Now, if for some reason you haven't used your stamp for a little while and it's lost its tack, which can happen. And when I say lost its tack, it means it just won't stick down as well as you want it to, okay? The best thing to do then is to just grab some water, and I have a little spray bottle on my table. Always have a little spray bottle. And paper towel, and just give it a nice clean wash. Okay, this is a great gold nugget, honestly, because it just helps bring the stick back to that, just by cleaning it, because sometimes when they sit, they get dust, all sorts of things. Okay, so we're going to grab our piece of card, And this piece of card, oh look, we've got centimetres on here, is 10 centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. On your positioner, you've got this little point in here, which I love, and we're going to bring this onto our paper. Okay, now we're going to bring our fingers up to hold it. So you might want that extra finger under here. Just hold that there. Just bring that one there. So it is good to have a few extra ones on there, and we're just going to make sure that that's positioned where we want it on. So it looks like it's got the same sort of gap either side. Not so much up the top because that's going to go, the photo is going to go over a little bit, but I definitely want it down to the bottom. Okay, then we're going to place it on here and we're going to press down and pick that up. And you can sort of see, the good thing is when you've got a few extra fingers on there, those magnets, that's going to stay more in. Oh, that'd be right. We're going to change that around before I use that. We're going to change the paper around to this side. Why? Because I don't know what happened just then, but we got a little bit of red on it. So I'm just going to make sure that this is clean, because for some reason it might not have been completely washed last time. I did the other side, but I didn't do this side. And I'm just going to make sure that it is clean. Seems like it is. Okay, I am using not black this time. I'm going to use the Secret Seed because I'm using the black cardstock, but I just want to give it a tinge of different colour, but not too much. So I'm going to come in with the Secret Seed. How lovely is this positioner? I love it because if you get stuff around it, it's not going to matter, okay? That's the one thing I love about this positioner. And I'm just making sure that that looks pretty right. I'm just going to move it that way, just a fraction. Okay, so it won't touch your cardstock until, and I just feel like it's crooked. So I'm just going to bring it down just a fraction, and I might have to just press it down on here to make sure I've got it in nice and flat. Okay, we're going to have to ink that up again. Yeah, but I could see that it wasn't right. I could see it wasn't right, but I'm going to put this on here, and I know I've got the blue on there. That's okay, I'm not worried about that. Because when I pick it up, I'm going to be stamping right back down over the top of that. Inking them up again. Don't you love these little gold nuggets of, oh, what you doing? And then we're just going to press it down again. Look at that, straight over the top. How beautiful is that? The reason I share some mistakes as well, or I don't call them mistakes, I call them, you know, sometimes you do things and you think, oh, what did I do that for? And you can sort of see that I'm just patting that off now. And that's on this side. So that means it was on my fingers. Okay, don't you love this machine? Oh, I love it. It's been one of the best things for me since my fingers, look at that, since my fingers have been not playing nice with me. Okay, we're going to move that out of the way. So you can see that worked out beautiful, and I love the words. Just little tips that you can do with that Stampin' Positioner. Okay, so let's come into our page. So our page is a 12 by 12 black, and we're coming in with a 10 by 10, 10 inches by 10 inches white. So we're going to use our liquid glue on this one. Okay, come on, be nice. Yep, it's being nice. So we're going to come down around the edge, and I'm just putting it around the edge. And I'm going to make sure I have the same sort of border all the way around. Now I have got it on my black cloth here, and I quite often stamp on a black cloth because you can't see the ink on it. This one I've had, would you believe this one I bought, this is a black sheet that I bought, and I have folded it through and through and through, a big one, and I just keep folding it through. And I've had this for the whole time I've been doing Stampin' Up, which is nearly 20 years, and I just love it. I love working on it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is bring in some of the things that we did yesterday. Now, yesterday we did these. We used the hot foil. Okay, I'm just going to, sorry about my finger for a minute. I don't know where these ads come up. Hi Sharon, good to see you on. So yesterday we used these, but I'm going to use the negative side today. So this is the negative side. Okay, so this is the shiny hot foil negative side that we're going to be using on our page. And I had two of them from yesterday, so I'm going to use the two on here today and bring in a little bit of that. I'm going to turn that up the right way. A little bit of that beautiful hot foil negative to this. So I'm going to be adding these onto my page top and bottom corner, and we're going to be using the Stampin' Seal. Okay, and we're going to be using the Stampin' Seal on our paper. So we want this to be here, and I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet to get this going, and I'm just going to come across here. And I've lined that up because I want this to come across here as well. And on my silicone craft sheet, and I'm just going to run it down the side here. And then down the side here. Okay. Now this is going to go over this. So we're going to hold it up and we're going to place it right in there. Beautiful. Now that is stuck on. Absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to do the same down the bottom here. We're going to just bring it across because we're going to do this side now. The silicone craft sheet is one of my go-to tools. I love it for the simple reason is that it starts your reel off without it breaking this. How many of you have used the reel and then gone, oh, it won't start, and you start playing around with it and then it breaks? This won't break. It will start off each time. Roll it on here and then roll it on here. I've got a hair. Okay, and then we're lining it up so that I can sort of see roughly where I want to put this seal, because I don't want to put it where I don't want it. And up here as well. And then I'm just going to also put one here. Doesn't have to be right to the edge, but just where I can put it, okay? And that really does help. Now, sometimes you might want to turn it upside down if you find it easier to work that way. Up the other way if you like using it the other way around. like when you're placing things. Some people like to place things from the top, some people like placing things from the bottom. And you can sort of see it gives it a really lovely effect. How gorgeous is that? You can sort of see that black coming out through there and the white. Okay, so that's our first step. Our second step is matting up our word. So we're going to mat our word, and this is going to come onto here. We're going to use our liquid glue on this one. Okay, around and around and around. Liquid glue on this one, line him up. So it's 0.5 bigger, okay? So, or 1/4 of an inch bigger. So let me just grab this. So this is 11, on centimetres it's 11 by 8.5 roughly. So this is coming down here, but I want to bring in a black. I want to bring in this black. This is beautiful paper. What's the name of this paper? I've got to think about that. I have it all sitting down here in amongst all my mess. Okay, this, as you can see, I've used a lot of this paper. It's the Artistic Sketches, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's the black and white one. You can use it. So I'm going to cut this into a flag. You can use your punches if you've got punches to cut this into a flag. Okay, I did have my little scissors here somewhere. And they're not sitting in my thing. I don't know how many times that happens to me. I think I've got everything I need and I haven't. Okay, where's my scissors? Sorry guys, they're here. Ugh. I did have them just behind everything. Okay, so to make a little flag, you're going to eyeball it into the center, and then you're going to cut from the corner up to where you cut. Okay, and this will give you a little flag. And this is going to go in here. So this is just going to go underneath our paper here. Look, I do these about, where's my ruler? Because I haven't got my grid paper on here today, which is a bit silly really, isn't it? Because I use it all the time, but I haven't got the grid paper underneath. Okay, it's about 4 centimetres or a couple of inches, and you just flag it because you want enough to tuck underneath there, but you want enough to be able to come down onto your page as well. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. So I'm going to put this here. Make sure you get it where you want it, and then I'm going to use some liquid glue. And I'm going to pop this piece in under here, this little flag. And I want it to come right down there. You can have it up onto the white if you wanted, but I want to have it down there. So I'm going to also stick this piece on. And you can stick it on straight, or you can stick it on slightly on an angle, but I'm going to do mine straight today. Okay, so I'm going to come down, and this is going to go into the center of that flag. Okay, then we've got our photo pieces as well. So we're going to have 2 photos, and the photos actually is the same measurements as that. So it's 3 by 4 or 7.5 by 10. And this one is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Or 8 by 10.5 centimetres. So that's going to be a photo. Then you've got this one that's going to be a photo as well. And this is 4 by 6. So this is the size of the photo, but you can put it straight over the white, or you can make your own little templates to put over the top and then just put your photo on. And then the black would be, so the white is 4 by 6 inches or 10 centimeters by 15 centimeters. Your black piece would be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and your black piece would be 10.5 by 15.5. Okay, so this is going to go onto our page here, like this. Now, when you're going to put photos and things on here, before we stick all this down, we're going to put some more little flags in here. So we're going to add a little flag coming down here. This is this paper again, and I'm going to use this side. So we're going to cut another flag. We're going to stick these on in a minute. So center it, and then do your little flag from the corner up to where you cut it. And you can make them as long or as small as you want, these little bits here. So this one's sort of going to go into this section here. And then we've got another black and white one here, because we want to match that black and white up a little bit. So we're going to put that there, cut it up to the corner, and cut it up to the corner. Okay, and then this one's sort of going to come out this way. So we're going to have them sort of like that. So let's stick this onto our mat. We're going to add the butterflies next that we did yesterday, and we're going to cut them out. I'm going to show you cutting them out that we did yesterday. So we've got that one, and we've got this one. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you on. Okay, so this one's going on here. If you're watching the replay later, hello and welcome. Don't forget to leave me a comment and say replay so I know that you've been on, because that's important. I need to know that you've been on. Now, we're going to put this one sort of here, but before we do, I want to do some twine on here as well. So you can use gold, but I haven't got any gold left. I looked for it this morning and I thought, oh, I don't have any gold left. I'm going to have to use black. So I'm just going to do a couple of twirls around. And on the back of here, I'm just going to use a little bit of seal. Okay, and this way I can sort of put this on and wind it around where I want it to go. Okay, so I can bring this around. You can bring this, you can bring this in if you want smaller pieces. And you're going to use that little bit of seal there to make your pattern. Okay, however you want to make it. And that's going to just sit down into our section here. This is going to be on a slight angle. Okay, so we're going to glue this one down. And I'm just going to glue between those little bits over there. And we're going to bring this slightly down on an angle, not too much, but on a slight angle. Then we're going to bring this one, you can either bring it down a little bit there, like that. We don't want any glue on this side when we're going to be putting a photo in this side. Okay, so you just want the glue along this edge here for the moment. So before we put that on, we want to be able to put this on. Now, whether you want this up a bit or you want it down a bit, work it out in your mind first. because we're going to stick this on. So we're going to stick this on here. And then we're going to stick this across here like this. I have done a sketch. It's a little bit different. It will give you an idea of what you can do. I've put the positive on the sketch, but this is actually the negatives that I'm using. And on the sketch I've got the positive, but you can use either. It's just to give you an idea. So we're going to pop that on there. That's nice. And then we're going to make sure that we have this coming in here. But like I said, we're not going to put glue here. We're just going to put it there and there. So we're just going to put it, we can glue it down later. Okay, you don't need to put all the glue on now. And this is going to come in on a bit of an angle, probably about there. Okay, now we're going to do the butterflies as well. Bring in the gold butterflies. I'm sorry, scrapbook pages take probably a little bit longer than 30 minutes. I try to do it in 30 minutes. It doesn't always work. Okay, our die cutting machine now. I'm just going to move these pieces out of the way. So we've got this. This is the one that we did yesterday. So we hot foiled that. If you didn't see the video yesterday, you want to go back on and watch it. Okay, the videos do get removed within 30 days from our Facebook, but they are straight away put across to my YouTube page, so you can always go over there and watch them on my YouTube page. So we're just going to take the dies out of here. I've still got the foil out because I was using that yesterday. And this is going to go around. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing, I'm sure. This is going to go around your vellum. Now this is the vellum. Now if you're not too sure, you can always put a little bit of sticky note or something on it. But my tip to you is to bring this down on an angle and then bring it straight down and hold it. I'm going to turn this around a little bit. Hold it, because hopefully we've got it in the right position. And we're going to wind this through. Whoa. Okay, always crackles. This is my new one. I saved up on my points, my rewards. Who loves saving their rewards? I saved my rewards because I had, in my classes, I wanted another machine, and I got virtually my machine on my rewards, so that was perfect. So you can sort of see that we have, you can use this also for a stencil, so you can actually use that as a stencil as well. So we're going to pop that back over here. Now before I do finish with the die cutting machine, I'm just going to grab this little leaf here, put this back over here. Not quite sure which way it went. Some way. I'll find it later. I'm not quite sure. Went something like that. There you go. That's the way it went. Got this little leaf, and I'm just going to use some black scrap. And I'm just going to run a couple of leaves on here through as well. Okay, you'll see the leaf coming out now. Because it's always lovely to have a few leaves around with your butterflies. Okay, I think so anyhow. So like I said, our scrapbooking probably will go just a little bit longer. We normally try to take 30 minutes, but sometimes that's just not going to happen. Okay, so we've got another leaf there. And I'm just going to do one more. I like to do 3 or 5. I'll do 3 to start off with. If we need 5, I can come back. Okay, that's not going to fit onto that bit, but I have got another scrap bit here. I always keep my scraps. They're very handy for when you decide you want to do something like this. Okay. So now we need our silicone mat back again. I'm just going to, if it comes in like this, you've always got some little release ones here. So I'm just going to get my pick tool and just show you this, because if they get stuck in here, you have a little release. So you can release, you've got 3 little releases there that you can push down and they'll come out. Okay, silicone mat. Just pop this back in here before I don't want to lose it. Not quite sure how it went, but there it goes. So we're going to add a little bit of gold to these. How are we going to do that? So we're going to go through our negatives over here. We've got some negatives. So we've got the pink, we've got silver, we've got another gold one here. I think I might just use this gold one because I've used quite a few of them. Yeah, I think I'll just grab that one. Oh, I might use that one. That one's a better one that I can use. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our seal. We're just going to make sure that it's working, and we're just going to come in and do a little bit of this, and then we're going to come down with our shiny up, come down over that, push down on that seal, and then lift up. Whoop, make sure that you've got to be careful because it is leaves. Okay. And we have a tinge of gold on our leaf. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to do this again. Make sure that it's rolling properly. You can do however you want to do it. And a little bit down there. And then shiny up. And then come down. Just got to be really careful with the leaves because they're very dainty. Okay, so you can come this way as well. You just got to be a little bit mindful when you're pulling these off because you don't want to rip it. But when you pull it off, you'll see you've got this little bit of gold happening on your leaf. Can you see that? Beautiful. And let's do the last one. I hope you're enjoying the class today and that you're learning some great tips and gold nuggets along the way as well, because when you buy the products, I like to think that people can use their products. Okay, that's one thing I like to make sure. So we're going to go down. We're going to make sure that the gold side is up, and we're going to rub it into that, and then we're going to peel it off. Oh my God, stay there. Okay, so as you can see, that piece of gold I've done some frames on, and I've done some other things. If you're it's still tacky, just come back and make sure that you use gold on it so it's not tacky. Okay, so if you can still feel that there's a little bit of glue on it, make sure you come back and use a little bit more of the gold. And I can see a little bit just on this one. So I'm just going to come back and bring this back over and just hold it down and make sure that I have actually used the foil on all of it. Beautiful. Okay, so let's put our leaves over there because they just look stunning, don't they? I think they look stunning. So your silicone craft sheet washes, wears. It's a must-have in your craft supply, I feel, anyhow. So that's just my idea. Okay, so now we've got these beautiful vellum butterflies. So we've got these beautiful vellum butterflies that we can put on our page. Now you can colour these if you want to, or you can just leave them in the white, or you can add some colour behind them. Okay, like the, I'm just going to pop that in there for a minute. Like the blend, you can use the blend, you can use lots of different things behind these. You can even use the mask that comes with them. You can even emboss them up, okay, because you can emboss these up and put these onto the page as well, okay. So, but I'm just going to use today on this area here, I'm just going to use some of this glue. Now this is where your silicone sheet is going to come in handy again, because we're going to add some glue down here like this, and we're just going to fold it on that body, and we're just going to add that onto our vellum, okay, and we're going to place this onto our page, okay, like that. And then we've got our little ones. So once again, fold it onto the body. This is a great gold nugget, okay, because you don't want to see the glue. Bring it, touch it up and down. And you can bring in your butterflies, which are really beautiful. We're going to bring some down here now as well. I love that there's 5 of them. We're going to come in here, and we're going to bring the butterfly in down here, and we've got another big one here, so we're just going to fold that. Sometimes you might need to put just a little bit more glue towards the end on here. So this is going to come up onto here, and then we've got our last one, little one, that's going to come in here. Okay, going to have to use just a little bit more glue just in here. Now, I've been a parchment teacher, which a lot of people say, oh, it's that Pergamano. Pergamano is the name of the brand of the tools that we used many years ago. Parchment is working on vellum, okay? So I have been a vellum parchment teacher for many years, and probably 25 years. So I've learnt over the years the tricks of the trade of how to actually glue your vellum without it being seen. Because you really don't want it being seen. So we're going to bring one of our beautiful stems in here, and we've got one over here, and we're going to bring one up here onto our paper up here as well. So just a little bit of glue on these. This is really a gorgeous page layout. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some of these beautiful little black gems on here as well, because I just want to add some of these. Okay, pick tool here. Going to grab my pick tool. Pick tools come in so handy, they really do. I've got glue on my fingers, can you tell? Okay, pick tool, come on. Okay, so we're going to put some of these on here. So I'm just going to push them to the side and use the putty end. And you can come in and use some of these on. On our page, which just brings the highlights it up a little bit, brings that little bit of black and that in. And then these are a little bit bigger, so we can add just a couple of big ones in as well. Oh. And a little bigger one in here. And one up here. One down here. And you can sort of see it actually. I sort of feel it needs one in here. And I'm just going to add to the ones down the bottom now as well. And we've got that odd one up there and we've got an odd one here. So I'm just going to go that way. So how gorgeous is that page? It looks really lovely. I'm going to just bring this up. Hello, Lorraine. Good to see you on. Look at this. How gorgeous is this? Using the foil in there as well, the negatives, using the butterflies in there, and making a beautiful black and white gold theme for our page. And we've also got the statement of the heart, so it means that I can put a photo of me and Shelley and me and Sarah in here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our scrapbooking today, and I hope you loved the little gold nuggets on how to bring in a little bit of that foil on here as well. So God bless you, and I'll see you all tonight at 7 for Crafty Thursday. Catch you then. Bye for now. I'm just going to come over here so I can switch it off.